Hello. Thank you all for joining me today for another episode of Social Media Talks. Today I'll be accompanied by Professor Dr. Süleyman Tolun, the Dean of Aviation Sciences Faculty. Please be reminded, if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below in the comments section and or on any of our social media platforms, as well as email us at info@kyrenia.edu.tr. Bear with me for a moment while we get him connected.
Hello, Ms. Tempest.
Hello, Professor Dr. Süleyman. How are you today?
Thanks, Ms. Tempest. I'm fine. What about you? I hope you are also fine.
I'm well, thank you. Yes, I am well, thank you. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us here. To start off, may we know a little bit more about you, your education background, how you came to be part of the University of Kyrenia family?
Okay, I graduated from Istanbul Technical University's Aeronautical Engineering Department, which was a department of Mechanical Engineering faculty. So with a degree of master's, because that time we have to educate 5 years. So we had the master's degree when we graduated. So then I started my professional life as an academician, starting as a research associate in Istanbul Technical University. I have made some to discontinuity. One is I left to Case Western Reserve University in 1975 for 1 year to do a research over there, and then I left 1 more year after associate professorship. So I went to Sup-Aero, which is named École Nationale Supérieure d'Aéronautique and Astronautique in France, Toulouse. So then I started working again as a professor at the university in the aeronautical engineering department. So I used a temporary leave also as a sabbatical leave in 2007. And then I made another leave after 2011 to 2014 to Samsun 19 Mayıs University. Over there, I also started a faculty, aviation and space sciences faculty. So as a founder, it is becoming a little bit difficult because you have to give a gap to your research activities because it's the new faculties that are going to be established. So you don't have readily students over there, no graduate students. So it become like that. In 2014, I left Samsun and came to Girne University. I joined this university. Again, there is a new faculty also establishing. So I did the first beginning of it. Since 5 years, I'm just working here.
Well, we're glad to have you with us. And Faculty of Aviation and Space Sciences, what are some opportunities and advantages to this faculty?
Aviation and space sciences are generally initiated in mechanical engineering departments all over the world. It was like that. Then in the last years, some knowledge of aeronautics are given generally. This is on the aeronautical engineering side. So the foundation is mechanical engineering and aeronautics are added in the professional courses at higher classes. But nowadays, electrics and electronics are more involved in our products like aircraft. So this profession is a gate to space engineering too. So we have a wide scope of view, starting from aeronautics to aerospace. It is developing. So that's the beginning of the faculty, but in addition to it, we also have some new programs coming in the future, like vocational school. We have aviation vocational school over there, aircraft maintenance, etc. Some cabin services might be also starting in the vocational school. So we are as a whole aviation subjects here, not only starting from mechanical engineering, but a dedicated faculty for aviation, I can say.
And what are some job opportunities that students that study the departments in this faculty have when they graduate?
The students, if we start from aeronautical engineering part, they can enroll or employed as an aerospace engineering or mechanical engineering careers. They can be a candidate for them. The advancement in aeronautics and aerospace will continue to develop. So it makes long strides of doing these developments. So there is no other chance there will be a development. If there will be some discrepancy of developments considering environmental effects, which we have seen the virus case lastly, so it sees down the all aviation activities almost with a limited aviation has continued, but military aviation also is no chance. They still has to do their duty. So that is the aeronautical engineering part. We also have professional pilot and aviation management departments. So the graduates of these departments may find positions in aviation companies and airliners, flight and maintenance training centers. They can also be employed, or other air and ground services for it. So they may work as a researcher or educator too. So these are some business areas for them, I can say.
So this field actually opens doors to a lot of opportunities when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yes, and from your experience in teaching, what qualities do successful students possess? When students come into your classroom, what kind of things do you expect from the students?
Actually, successful students, what we have in our experience, besides classwork, they have to do part of their study themselves through searching in the library or searching the internet with the secure websites to get the right information or knowledge from them. So they mustn't be satisfied by themselves what it is taught in the classes. So it's a limited time, the class duration. So it is the rest has to come from the students. So they have to be eager in learning and always trying to develop themselves. So from our point of view, aeronautical engineering students must have interest to physics and mathematics. It is a must. So professional Pilot is more inclined to engineering. Aviation management is an amalgam of technical and social sciences, I can say. So what we expect a background from our students to have. Uh, Students have to know that they are going to be taught in classes, as I said before, but they must be curious of how things work and try to learn themselves. Teaching is, as I said, a little bit in a limited time in the classes, but they have to learn a lifelong learning process. So during it starts at the beginning of the university years. So they have to prepare themselves as a lifelong learners. So
Yeah.
whenever they quit learning something according about their profession, then they have to know that they are going to lose their abilities. So continue to, in my time when there was no laptop, no desktops. So
Different time.
later on they came. I think I am not a professional user, but I know that students know better than me probably. But they have to get use of the computers, not to dedicate much of their time for some things that are not giving additional knowledge to them, just only spending time. It's something for a limited time could be done, but not all the time. But we have in our university an international atmosphere. We have students from all over Africa, Middle East, and Turkey, and also Cyprus citizens are educating over there. So they have to communicate generally in English. So they have to know each other and also try to push their language a little bit better positions.
Which will
So
actually help them a lot as well, learning English, right?
yeah,
Because they're practicing constantly, yes?
but the third thing that I might expect from them to show interest to sports, not only aviation sports, but general sports and social activities. They are not only one-sided students. I don't know whether it expresses well or not, but they can do many different activities too. So it will develop them and they would be much more successful in their life.
I see. And so there's this question that we are always asked at Education First. So let me ask you this. Why the Faculty of Aviation and Space Sciences at the University of Girne? What makes us stand out from the others?
As I said, this faculty is standing alone by itself because we have we have employees that are dealing with aviation generally. So we also have the other options in the faculty. So if a student thinks that there might be other preference for them in the future to go on different subjects, they can do a double major study or a minor study here. And we try to give the best contemporary education to them. So we improve ourselves from year to year and think that we would be attractive in that part too. That's, I think,
Yes,
the most important part of us.
I agree. And so the faculty has three departments, as you mentioned: professional pilot training, aeronautical engineering, and aviation management. Now, you've told us a couple of points about each of these departments, but could you elaborate a bit more? For example, professional pilot training. What are some things that are specialized to that department? And aeronautical engineering and aviation management.
Okay. I think I have made enough emphasis on aeronautical engineering, but professional pilot department, if I say, they are working together with our flight training organization. So flight training organization gives the theoretical knowledge to our students in this department, but also they provide the flights. And nowadays we are outsourcing these flights to another flight school, but in the future we try to get the opportunity to do it in Cyprus. So the weather is more suitable for flights here, as far as you can do maybe whole the year flights here, but it will take a little bit time. So our students will get the air transport pilot license at the end. However, they might say that PPL or private pilot license might be enough for us. They can leave at the end of second year. But as a profession, it's a hobby. It can be a pro hobby, but as a profession, they have to go to ATPL license. So besides these courses, we also give some aeronautical or aviation courses, which are taken from our aviation management department, and some of them from aeronautical engineering department. It depends on the choice of the student. If they are more inclined to engineering, they can go towards the elective courses of engineering department. Otherwise, they can direct themselves to aviation management courses and more in the social sciences to be in that part. Aviation management is also dealing with different, they are not focused on management only, but aviation is going together. So they can work as a manager too in a management program or management business, but it is better for them to do their job in aviation sector. And we have the training, summer trainings also. For aeronautical engineering, we have 3 compulsory summer internships, which is 20 days minimum, 20 work days per each of it. So the other ones, the aviation management, they might have only the voluntary summer internships in the airport. We can supply them some positions, but they can do, if they wanted to do it in their own countries, they can do over there. And we provide them the facilities to do the internships, but it is a voluntary case for them.
Of course.
I hope I have answered.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for that. And so you mentioned a little bit earlier that we will be opening departments, like programs that are similar to this, for example, vocational school, aviation vocational school. So there'll be like cabin crew, pilot training, those kind of things.
Pilot training for 2 years, we tried to open it, but it was not suitable for YÖK higher education council of Turkey. They refused it because nobody is having 2 years of pilot training. However, The course period is about 1.5 year, average course period. Why don't we give for 2 years this education, but I
Hopefully in the
think
future.
we delayed to some other time. Probably we make another attempt, but the cabin crew or cabin services could be another one that is. It will be in the election board, I think, for the vocational school, but aircraft maintenance or aircraft technology, it was before. Now we try to get the approval from other department offices to establish this part also.
Excellent. And are there any other future plans for this faculty, for the Faculty of Aviation and Space Sciences?
It is actually my wish that we could have our own airfield or to have these facilities next to an airport that we can
Yes.
use also for pilot education, flights, and for maintenance, and maybe a general aviation company which can do maintenance to our aircrafts. We all own only two now, but it is going to increase in the future.
Of course.
So if we can do that, we can expand much easily in an environment that you can smell the aviation every time. The aircrafts you will see, the students will see the aircrafts, and they are more engaged with these activities, I think. So this is the future expectation
Well,
for me.
hopefully we will be able to see, yes, in the future for those. And so what are the advantages of studying a postgraduate degree in this field?
Mm,
Like, I know, okay, so for now, for example, we have aviation management as a postgraduate program. What can the student, when studying the postgraduate aviation management program, what will they benefit from it?
Actually, if the students are choosing a future subject for themselves, like doing a research, or if they are going to be involved in education as an educator, they have to get this at least master's or PhD degree. Uh, for masters, I can say that if you are at the aeronautical engineering department and you are going to establish your own business in the future. So it is helpful to have a master's degree, or you can divert yourself to some other interesting engineering subjects if you have. So you can do your master's degree other than aeronautics, I think. It would be a good thing to do. But generally, the masters, if you want to be specialized on one subject of the general aviation, among general aviation subjects, it is better to have a master's degree at least. But if you are going to be in the education business later on, so it is better to do on the right time the PhD study. So PhD study is not very easy generally in aeronautics or in aviation sciences. So it is better to do it as early as possible. If you are getting too old or older, it will be difficult, I think. So better to do it when you are young and do those studies.
So it is advised to do masters, to do postgraduate programs in this field.
We have now the management, aviation management. Now we have students, But if we have the students in aeronautical engineering or also professional pilot, I'm a little bit not very
Important masters.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it is going to be difficult to have in the pilot's part, but uh, aeronautical engineering could be a good subject for them. We can accept pilots to our programs too.
I see. And what should the prospective students keep in mind, like prepare themselves for during their undergraduate and postgraduate studies in this field? Like, is there anything they should keep in mind or just prepare themselves for any hardships, anything like that?
Actually, they must evaluate themselves first,
Mhm.
whether they are ready for subjects in aviation, either as an engineer or a management or professional pilot side. So they have to have an interest for these areas. The skills and interests and abilities must match with one of them. If they are not matching any of them, I think I recommend my subjects, but they can go to other subjects, choose them. So for aeronautical engineering, they must be ready to cope with sophisticated engineering topics, with condensed physics and mathematics. Flight must be a hobby for the professional pilot. They mustn't be afraid of flying, for example. So after flying sometimes, I'm sure that they will like it. So if they are not, they know the subjects very well, the abilities of the aircrafts. So there is no chance uh, for doing an unsecure action. So then they are uh, depending on themselves very well. So I recommend them to be a pilot, or if they are going to serve a, a business area which is developing fast and which has sophisticated uh, products like aircrafts. So management might be their interest, so they can go over that part. So the important thing is safety is the number one issue in aviation. So whenever, if they are designing an aircraft as an aeronautical engineer, they have to be in the safe side, but not as safe as the aircraft to be too heavy. So they have to know that one out of a million flights, an aircraft might fall. So they have to know how to rescue it, etc. So that means that you are not using extra weight. It has to be a lightweight structure, aircrafts. So if you are making or designing an aircraft heavier, that means that the money that you are earning on the payload, we call it, the payload. So you have to diminish the payload. If the aircraft is too heavy, that makes a hard time for you to, as a company, to get profit out of it. So that is something that to be in the a good talent of engineering has to be done. So that's the general perspective of our department, I think.
Yeah, well, thank you, Fajan. And also, so we're coming to the end. I just wanted to ask before we log off for today, do you have any anecdotes that you'd like to share, any experiences from your student years? that you'd like to share with us?
Okay, I had a good experiences during my student time. One is that I remember he was the director of Turkish Airlines, but he was at that time a research associate, and he came and tried to do an exam to us, and then he left the classroom. He said that you do the exam yourself without any watching, no invigilator. He left us over there. Some of our friends tried to look at the documents, but we want to prevent them. So it's something that he just trusted us that we can do ourselves the exam, not to communicate or get help from any book. So that was a good thing to remember during my studies in the university.
Of course, it's good memory.
Yeah, good memory.
Yeah, well, that is all we do have time for. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Tolun, for joining me today.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we can do this again soon.
I can answer it from what else. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Have a nice
goodbye.
day. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all for watching. Please join me tomorrow at 4 p.m. EEST with Assistant Professor Didem Aydınlar, who will be discussing Business Administration Departments. Until then, stay safe, take care, and goodbye.